So, Thomas, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thomas is a professor of environmental economics at the University of Gothenburg.
Yep.
Thomas, you know the deal. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Let's go. What is your most favorite article in environmental economics?
Well, look, there's plenty of brilliant work by Marty Weitzman and Prathadas Gupta and Joe Stiglitz and others, but I'm going to be a little pretentious and speak of my own work. And so I would like people to read the even sterner review.
Good choice. What book should every environmental economist have read?
Well, there again, my own books, I think the book Fuel Taxes and the Poor is actually is an important piece of work because there's a lot of resistance to gasoline taxation and fuel taxation. People say that it's bad for the poor, but that's not true.
Who is your most favorite environmental economist?
Well, it's probably Marty Weitzman. I really admire Joe Stiglitz. Is now really mainly environmental, but he's done good work. I admire them both a lot, and several others like Prathadas Gupta.
Carbon taxes or quotas? What is the right way to go?
Whichever actually gets through Parliament and gives a high price signal soon. That's the most important thing. I'm happy with either. I have a slight preference. I think that taxes will, in many countries, be easier to get in place at a high level, and a little bit less prone to corruption. But I'm happy for either one.
What would be the optimal carbon tax?
We don't know that, actually. Sweden has $100 a ton, in fact, a bit more, 120. And Sweden, I mean, a lot has happened in Sweden. We don't use oil to heat buildings anymore, but we still use some oil, and we have some fossil emissions. So it seems that is not quite enough in Sweden. On the other hand, Sweden is very small, and technology is not made for Sweden. So if the whole world had $50, that would still make an enormous difference, an enormous signal.
The sterner Norcos discount rate, or the sterner one?
Yeah, the sterner one, which is is designed to give similar results to Stern. So I think we need to take the future seriously. We know we will drown the world with 30 meters of sea level in a few hundred years or in 1,000 years. That's still a real problem. With conventional discounting, nothing after a century makes any difference at all, and that must be wrong.
Do you believe in God?
I see, unfortunately, no evidence for a power that is both strong and good.
Egalitarianism, utilitarianism, equality of opportunity, libertarianism. What theory of justice would you prescribe to?
That's not made for a 1-minute answer, that question. I think there's a lot to learn from several of those. I'm somewhat between egalitarianism and equality of opportunity. But there's a lot to be said for several of those principles.
President Donald Trump, good or bad for the USA?
He's a disaster for the world and for the United States, but of course it's not just him personally. It is a disaster that there's so many voters. Maybe not a majority, but still a large share who support him.
If you could spend 1 hour with a person of your choice, who would it be and why?
Well, there's a lot of tempting and exciting people to think of there, but I came to think of a few artists. Just imagine spending time with Salvador Dali or with Frida Kahlo or something. But ultimately, I think I would actually, if I had the choice and you could bring back people, I think that my mother or maybe even my father, who died when I was very young, would be fantastic. I would have so much to tell them and to ask them.
Mm-hmm. Complete the following sentences. The free market for me is...
a useful abstraction.
If I could turn back time at maximum 66 years, I would
study more. Nah.
The study of the study of environmental economics is
important.
Life on planet Earth in 2100 will be
still a struggle. Many new possibilities, but a lot of new challenges and difficulties.
If Aristotle was still alive, then
he would be studying environmental economics.
Thomas, thank you very much for this.
Thanks.
It was very enjoyable.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much.